Welcome to Business Connection. I'm Liz Spencer. We have a fascinating guest in studio. It's Kuhn, and she's a business strategist. So welcome, Jean.
Hi, thanks for having me here.
So tell me a little bit about what you do.
I help small business owners who are pretty much frustrated and struggling turn around their business and increase their cash flow fast. Because I know that 19 out of 20 small business owners do not make enough money in their business.
Wow, that seems like a pretty hard job, but you have really proven it because you bought a bankrupt business. So tell me a little bit about that.
I bought two bankrupt businesses, right? Because I wasn't smart enough to just buy one.
Right.
So in 2002, I bought a bankrupt franchise that was located in LaGrange.
Okay.
And I went down there to check it out. A friend of mine owned one here in Naperville. And I went down to check out the store, and I couldn't find it, right? And I'm walking up and down the street, and I couldn't find it. And finally I stopped, and I backed away, and I looked at the sign, and I was standing right in front of it. And I didn't recognize it because it had the front window was full of these dirty, dusty flower arrangements. So I thought it was a florist every time I walked past it, and it actually was a chocolate store.
Wow.
Right? So when I went in, I knew exactly what was wrong with it. Number one, their messaging was all messed up, right? It gave the impression to the clients walking by or the customers walking by that I'm a dirty, dusty flower arrangement. No need to walk in here, right?
Right.
I also knew exactly how to fix it, right? Let's put some product. There was nothing in that store to buy. You walk in and the cases were empty and there was very little product in there to buy, as well as being dirty. So, and then the third reason I bought it was I knew exactly how to fix it, and they practically give away a bankrupt business, right? And I got it for a really good deal. And then 2 weeks later, I was crying in the back room. Right? I was sitting on a milk crate crying, thinking I have just put my family's financial jeopardy or financial freedom in jeopardy by buying this business. And what was I thinking? My kids are never going to go to college. I am going to be known as the mom who ruined her entire family's lives. And I was sitting on a milk crate, and I had a good 20-minute cry because there was nobody coming into that store, right? So finally, after 20 minutes and feeling sorry for myself, I got up off my milk crate, and I decided I better get to work because I had a plan when I bought it. So what I needed to do is I like to look at marketing as like a table, right? A table, how many legs does a table need to stand?
3.
3 is good.
Right.
4 is solid.
4, right, yeah. 3 will get you by, but 4 is better.
Right. 4 is solid. So I had 4 strategies that I took right away to fix that store. And the first one was customer service, right? Really, number one, there was nobody coming in the store, so not really a lot of interaction with customers. But the customers there were not treated well, and they were treated to not only poor service, but bad product, right? That product was so old. I threw most of it away when we bought it. And I really figured out how I could service the client better, right? Because I'm that person who, I shop with my dollars, right? If I'm not treated well someplace, that's okay. There's another one of something like you right around the corner, right? So I'm very particular where I spend my money, and I know my customers. It was a high-end chocolate store. Right. They were going to be particular where they spent their money. Right. So let's treat them well, right? Let's say thank you. Let's not touch the candy with our hands, right? Let's just really do a good job of servicing the client. The next thing I did was sampled them. Right?
Sure. Right. Oh, who doesn't like a free chocolate sample? You'll get me in the store.
Exactly. So I started sampling the customers with all of the great products that we had, and they seemed to like that. The third thing I did is I really got involved in the business association in downtown LaGrange. And I started helping out, and I started working with other business owners there, sharing. I chaired their summer art project, right? So I got to know all the business owners in town. Well, when I did that, my sales that year jumped 30%. With nothing else. I did nothing else other than start getting to know the business owners, and they got to know me. Right? All of a sudden, I saw them start showing up in my store, start buying the product. So, and then the fourth thing I did is I really took to heart that I was crying after 2 weeks of buying that store, and I decided I never wanted to cry in that store again. Right? It was everything I did had to amuse me. So I started writing a newsletter. I started sharing little personal bits of information about myself and my family. My kids all work there. Started sharing a little bits of information, personal stuff, right? So that they could get to know us. They could start to engage with us and with me. And when my daughter graduated college, I posted her in her cap and gown, right?
Right.
And I got a note from a woman who lived in Tennessee who had at some point visited my store and got on my email list. And she told me about her daughter who had twin babies and how she was going to nursing school. My daughter had just graduated with her BSRN or whatever it's called. So it was that connection there, right, that I had felt for the entire 16 years that I owned my stores. It was always about connecting with the customer and share information, what's going on in town and things like that. I also did really fun promotions, again, to amuse myself. So employees would just suck the life out of me, right? Some days. Some days it was just hard. And I came home one day and I was complaining to my husband about the fact that everybody comes into this store and they say they can't work there because they would eat the profits. What if we could just get them to work for us and pay us to work there? Well, that moved into an idea that I had that I called Kids in the Kitchen Camp. So we got customers to pay us to send their kids in to work in our camp, or in our kitchen and in our store over the summer. Now, we were good to those kids, right? They got to wait on customers, which they love, play with the cash register, but they also got to make product, and at the end of the day, we sent them home with a big box of goodies that they made, right? But it just made me laugh out loud every time someone wrote me a check, right, to pay to have their kids come work in my store.
Right, well, you called it a camp, and there you were.
Marketing.
Now that you're a strategist and you're helping others, what are some of the key points that you try to get, a struggling business owner to learn? I mean, I'm sure there are many out there who are crying on their own milk crates.
I'm sure they are, right?
They are, many a time.
Yeah.
Right?
I really try to get them to understand that marketing is the most important thing that they can do in their business, and the more money they give their marketing, the more money their business will give them. So for me, it really was all about how can I make this fun? Because if it was fun for me, it was going to be fun for my clients. So make it fun. And what can I do that other people are not doing? We all get into these industries where, I'm going to just use the example of a real estate agent. They all market the same way, right? You don't see anybody going outside the box on their marketing. They're all taught the same way and they're all coached the same way. Very few people will go and do something different than what you've seen every other real estate agent do. I really take my clients and we really look for something edgy, right, that they can do in their business that sets them apart from their competition. It makes them look at their business differently, and how can they have fun with what they're doing and get more people in the door. And that's my secret.
That's your secret. And you don't just work with retail, you work with any business.
Yeah, I attract a lot of service businesses. I have a horse farm, dog trainer, bookkeepers, and energy healers, and I've worked with just this wide variety of service providers I just love that.
Well, I think it's because we all need a coach. I think we underestimate that outside influence that has a little bit of experience, in your case, a lot of experience that can guide us.
I agree, and that's why I have a coach, right? I still work with a coach because I know that my return on investment, whatever I pay her, I get back 5 or 6 times over. So you'll never find me without a coach.
There you go. Well, Jean, thanks for stopping by and sharing all your wonderful experience with us. We wish you a lot of luck, and we'll be keeping our eye on you.
Thank you.
And we're going to be right back with more Business Connections. Stay tuned.